In this video, we're going to be talking about importing a design here into the Silhouette Studio software, and I'll show you the process that we use, and then we'll talk a little bit about how we're going to make this design. This is the design in question. It's a free design that you can download off our website. Now you can see that this design has lots of colors, lots of stone sizes. So this is not your typical run-of-the-mill rhinestone design, although it will look pretty on a shirt. So what I would do if I were going to make this design, I would probably put all the crystal stones on a single template and then put all the colored stones on a separate template. And I would hand place all of the various colored stones. So what we're going to do is show you how to import this design here into Silhouette Studio, and then we'll make a couple of changes. So here's what I would do. What I would do is on my desktop, I have the SVG file. And so what I typically will do is just drag and drop from my desktop, drag and drop right here into Silhouette Studio because I think that's the easiest way to do it. So just simple drag and drop, there it is. Now from here what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of this black box in the background because it's a little bit bigger than my mat. So I'm going to hit right click and choose ungroup, right click and choose ungroup, and that should release the black background from the stones. So we'll go ahead and delete that. Just hit the delete key on my keyboard. I'm going to get rid of these little 3 stones here at the bottom. Delete those as well. Now I'm going to add a new box around the owl. So we'll go back to our rectangle tool here and we'll just drag out a new weed box like so. All right, now if you're going to cut all of the stones on a single template, we're ready to cut. And you may choose to hand place everything rather than make 2 separate templates. I think there's about 1,300 stones in this design, and while that sounds like a lot of hand placing, it's really not that bad. In fact, if you use a wax pencil, um, the wax pencils will pick up the rhinestones and make placing these rhinestones actually surprisingly quite quickly. So at any rate, um, we can go ahead and let's save this. And what I did is I called this multicolor crystal. And then I would go back in there and we'll do a save as, and we'll call it multicolor, our multi-owl colors. Okay, so we're here on the multi-owl colors file. What I could then do is come in here and delete my crystal stones. So let's switch back to our pick tool here and we'll get rid of this box we just created. But I could just come in here. It'll take a little bit of work on our part, but you could just come in here and go ahead and go through and delete all of the crystal stones from this template. And then we have the exact same file with the exact same weed box in the other file where then we would delete all the colors from that template. But then we could come in here once we have it set up. We would just come in here and select the entire design, go over here to our cut window, and then we would just go ahead and choose the cut, the second option here. And what that will do, of course, that will cut our weed box in every single circle. If we chose the first option, then of course it's just going to cut the perimeter of our weed box, which we would not want. So just make sure you choose that second cut option, and that's going to cut everything out that exists. So anyhow, that is how you import a file and get it ready to cut here inside Silhouette Studio. So it's actually pretty painless. I just drag and drop from the desktop right into my Silhouette Studio workspace, make any manipulations that I need to make, and then we're ready to cut.